Hey, it's Matt Moscona. You found it. It's AFR Saints, your home for daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Please subscribe, smash the like button, hit the bell so you're notified whenever we post a new video. And our content this football season is presented by BetUS. Score a 150% bonus on your first deposit and a 125% bonus on your next two deposits up to $2,000 when you use the promo code YouTube150. Enjoy the video. Who dat? Saints, Chiefs, Monday Night Football. Mitch Holthus will be in attendance, as he is for all the Chiefs games. He's the radio voice of the Chiefs. Good enough to join us for a couple of minutes here. Mitch, we appreciate it. How are you?
Well, doing okay. You win 3 Super Bowls in 5 years. It's a pretty good run. And going off back-to-back Super Bowls and starting the next year 4-0, it's not bad. So
Yeah.
We'll take it.
It's funny you ask, like, elite athletes, they remember the wins or the losses. Like, do they remember the loss to Tampa more or the trophies?
Oh, no, the trophies. Now, you remember them all, right? It's not like, oh, gosh, I don't remember the Tampa Bay game, which, by the way, in fact, I even got in an argument with David Jeremiah because they go, well, that wasn't a road game because Patrick Mahomes has never played a playoff road game. That was last year's narrative on Patrick to kind of bring him down. And I said, no, Super Bowl 55 against the Bucs pretty much felt like a road game. Oh, no, that was COVID. That wasn't a real Super Bowl. I go, yeah, exactly. It was in Tampa, and they let 17,000 people in the stadium that were first responders who've been cooped up for 6 months, and they were, like, throwing RPGs and beer cans at us. No, it was pretty much a road game. But that's okay. They all had masks on, but, yeah, I can hurl a beer can if I've got a mask on. But give credit to the Bucs. They were great that day. Oh, yeah, I remember it. Dude. But it was a road game. But still, remember the confetti in the head. That's a good one, as Saints fans do from 2009.
Yeah, that's those are certainly great memories. Saints are trying to get back there, but, of course, you got to go through Kansas City and basically everywhere else right now. Does this 2024 Patrick Mahomes, does it ever get boring? Does it ever cease to amaze you watching what he continues to do? No.
In a word, this is like, I don't even know if people read comic books anymore if it's all digital. This is like reading, the 25th Batman comic book, and there's a new villain and, throwing new things at Batman or Superman, and then they try to figure out how to defeat the villain. That's where we're at in Patrick Mahomes' career. What's interesting for the Saints is they will play Patrick in the second 100 games of his career. He just had his 100th game last week in the road victory at the Chargers. And just consider what he's done. He's 78-22. That's an all-time record for a quarterback in their first 100 games. Any quarterback, let me emphasize, any quarterback. He also has the most touchdown passes in the first 100 games, most 300-yard passing games, on and on and on and on. But the fact that he's 78-22, and here's what's impressive: 39-11 on the road, and then his 15-3 record in the playoffs is pretty remarkable. His 18-1 on the road against the division is pretty remarkable. I know the Saints are right there. I think the Saints are 14-5 on the road, and they should have won that game against Atlanta. That had to be. I mean, I watched that thing twice. Yeah. But still, Mahomes is. I don't want to make people mad, but I mean, you got teammates that play with him that played at LSU and are from there that would say the same things. He's a remarkable, one-of-a-kind athlete. And more than that, I think that's underrated, is his mental and emotional maturity, along with his intelligence. He's phenomenal.
Hey, we'll get right back to the video. Thrilled to tell you about our friends over at BetUS, a great partner of ours here on AFR Saints all throughout this football season. Been telling you about the great offer right now. 150% deposit bonus on your first deposit, 125% bonus on your next two deposits, up to $2,000. Why wouldn't you take advantage of this if you're sports betting? And, of course, it's way more fun when you are. Be sure to use that promo code YouTube150. Let me show you just how easy it is to use BetUS. You go to BetUS, you hit the football tab, NFL Week 5. We're going to scroll down. We know Monday Night Football will be the last game of the weekend. There it is, Saints-Chiefs. Can't say that I love New Orleans prime time in Arrowhead. Maybe I'll lay the 5 with the Kansas City Chiefs. So We'll come over here to our bet slip. How much do we want to wager? Let's go $25. You place your bet. It's going to ask you to confirm, which we'll do right here. And there is my confirmation bet slip. We are in. Here's hoping I'm dead wrong. Y'all can all laugh at me next week, but make sure you're taking advantage of our friends at BetUS having this great offer. 150% deposit bonus on your first deposit, 125% on your next 2 deposits, up to $2,000. Make sure you use the promo code YouTube150. Thanks so much for watching. Now enjoy the rest of the video. Yeah, when you're watching a Hall of Famer, you're watching greatness, you run out of superlatives. Mitch Holthus is our guest, radio voice of the Chiefs, Saints Chiefs.
Hey, Drew Brees threw on his tiptoes for 15 years.
Hey, man,
that's pretty crazy.
We saw it, man. Hey, you mentioned the LSU guy. Let me ask you about Clyde. A lot of people here love him and want the best for him. Maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see him this week. What can you tell us, Mitch?
Maybe. There's an on-ramp for him, though. Keep in mind, he's been in the NFI list, and so you cannot practice if you're on the NFI list. So I'm not going to rule it out, but I'm not going to rule it in. It's a very wishy-washy answer, but honestly, it's the truth. He would love to play in this game. In fact, the game, it was COVID year, ironically, the year that actually we beat Tampa in the regular season and had to go play the neutral game in Super Bowl 55. not that bothers me, but we were also in the Superdome that year. I remember calling the game from the studio, and I can't remember. It might have been Hendrickson. They bent Clyde in half, and that play really kind of sent Clyde on a spin. Now he's had some moments coming back, but he had such a phenomenal start to his career, including 164 yards earlier that year in his rookie year against Buffalo at Buffalo. But it's been kind of working back even since that Saints game. He would love to play in this game, obviously, but I don't know how realistic it would be.
So Clyde's a question. We know Pacheco's out. Rashee Rice is out. What is there offensively, or not that it necessarily matters when you have Patrick Mahomes, but what is there?
Andy Reid. Phenomenal. Yep. Andy Reid. So Andrew Siciliano, now the Cleveland Browns, but when he was with NFL Network, it was right after the trade of Tyreek Hill. And we were just coming off an AFC championship loss to Cincinnati. And Andrew Siciliano says, is this it? Like, this is the AFC West passed you by. And the AFC West was all in, man. They had all their chips on the table, and they were all in on this deal. And I said, okay, Andrew, is the head coach still here? And is the quarterback still here? And without being arrogant, I would give you that same answer. I've seen Andy Reid deal with incredible, intense flashpoints all the 12 years he's been here. Now he's got another one, because we're essentially, those guys you ripped off, we're essentially missing, if you extrapolated it for the season, about 2,800 yards and 15 touchdowns. I mean, that's gone for a while. So this is kind of 2022 mode. No Tyreek Hill. What's going to happen to them? They're all going to be covered in volcanic ash by Tuesday morning. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I think I just hang in there, because I've seen Andy Reid do incredible things as a head coach.
Xavier Worthy's been there. I would assume Juju. So who does step up? Like, who gets the targets? Who are the players to watch this Monday?
In the words of the great sage of our time, Snoop Dogg,
yes,
in the great movie of our time, Starsky and Hutch, when he said, "I'll just lay it out for you to play it out," I would tell you that this is really an algebraic equation.
Okay.
This is, if you go back to your algebra days, and you're looking at believe me. That's why I wake up in the night, so I'm giving you this analogy. I still haven't figured it out. But think of a quadratic equation. Now, Justin Reed could figure it out, like the smartest human on earth next to Patrick Mahomes, who's one of our Louisians. What a great family, by the way. Yeah, the Baton Rouge dude. And I've met his family. Oh, my gosh, is that an impressive family? In fact, it was last year at the AFC Championship game in Baltimore. They were all huddled up, and I'm like, who is this group? And anyway, sometime Justin's going to be president of the United States. But anyway, the point is, this is to answer your question, a quadratic equation. There's many variables here. There's no answer to give you, and it's not being wishy-washy again, because go back to what I said 2 paragraphs ago about Andy Reid. When he's been in this situation, he will throw a fastball, a cutter, a slider, and a changeup. So there is no one person that gets those targets, no one person that is going to be the focal point in this game. and they're going up with and I've studied these guys, and I've looked at them closely, and I'm not just saying it because I'm talking to you, that this is a really, really good defense, and close to a phenomenal defense, just from the standpoint that they play so hard, they play so physical. I mean, 8 takeaways in 4 games is really good. And the Chiefs just played a team like that in the Chargers. I mean, play to the whistle, wink, wink, nod, nod. That's the way the Saints play. Great effort, great scheme, and so the Chiefs have their hands full with these guys, and so does Mahomes. But I've seen Andy Reid figure it out, and he's very underrated. I mean, he's 4th all-time in wins in NFL history. He's close to getting on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he nudges off, if it's George Halas or Lombardi, but just Google him, look it up. Wins, now he's got 3 Super Bowl titles. He's incredible, but if he's underrated just because he's not self-serving and out in front, and he's doing some funny commercials, but nothing crazy. But he's amazing. He's super smart in concepts. You can ask Dennis; he would tell you the same thing, or that Saint staff.
The Nugs commercial where his hand just creeps across the table. So that one, remaking.
Well, he's always
Snickers.
making fun of him. It's always the cheeseburger thing, and making fun of are you the punt, pass, and kick kid? And so, and he goes along with it. But I've also seen him bring Thor's hammer. Yeah, he's still an old offensive lineman from BYU that would like nothing more to pull and take you and me out as a backer or a corner. He's got that mentality. So I've seen the whole, I reached for some nuggets, and in the meantime, he's bringing lightning bolts, So he's as competitive as it gets now. He can drop a hammer on somebody.
If Mitch Holthus is here with us, radio voice of the Chiefs, you can get him on Twitter, X at Mitch Holthus, HOLTHUS. If the Saints are a 5.5-point dog, look, I mean, it's Arrowhead in prime time on Monday Night Football. I think everybody knows what the Saints are up against going on the road in this game. If they are able to make it a 4-quarter game and keep it close, maybe down to a possession there at the very end, how do you think that plays out, Mitch?
Well, I think the Saints are tough, and it ends up being a coin flip game. The Saints are so good in the division on the road. That tells you about their toughness. Now, they're unique offensively in the way they play. Alvin Kamara, who played junior college ball in Kansas, by the way, for the Hutch Blue Dragons. Mm-hmm. But the other pieces that they have, they use so well and use it in a unique way. You're really playing an interesting team here when you don't see them often like the NFC South does. But I will tell you this. Here's a couple nuggets for you in Baton Rouge, is that the Chiefs now have won 10 straight games. The margin of victory in those 10 games total is 61 points. That is the slimmest margin of victory in NFL history for any 10-game winning streak. This is going back to 1921 and the Decatur Staleys, and the Acme Packers.
Let's go.
Here's another one. 7 straight wins of a touchdown or less. That ties an all-time National Football League record going back to 1921. So what am I telling you? The Chiefs have lived in this zone. And it floors me that in baseball, like the Royals are now, they're moving on to play the Yankees, and they won a 1-0, 2-1 game, 2-1 games to get there. It's like, oh man, that's awesome. They know how to win 1-run games. You do it in football, they see it as a sign of weakness. Like it's not good for the Saints to win 14-13. They need to win 45-0, or they think they're weak. No, it's just an ability to win games like you just laid out. So the Chiefs have kind of been there, done that, but really the Saints have too.
Man, it's going to be great theater either way. Prime time. You'll get to experience it all the time.
This Saints team's underrated. They're so close to being 4-0. I don't have to tell you that. I mean, it's 3-0 in the fourth quarter against the Birds, and 1:03 to go, and they pound one in. And that game last week, I mean, that's one where that coaching staff's got to be looking at that video going, how did we lose this game? Yeah. And those are really frustrating. So this is a 4-0 team in 2-2 clothing.
Man, it's how you end up in perpetual 8-9, 9-8 mode, just barely on the outside looking in. They got to figure out a way to do like Kansas City has and figure out a way to win those games. So,
I've lived that life too, partner. I've also lived the 2-14 life. How about this one? I don't want to cast aspersions, but the 2-14 year, the worst year, the year before Andy got here, one of the 2 wins was over the Saints, and the Chiefs won the game.
Was that the Jamal Charles game?
Yeah. The Chiefs won the game and never led. No, won the game and never led. Ding. They win the game on this one they won that game 27-24 on 6 field goals, a safety, and a 91-yard run by Jamal Charles.
Oh my God!
If you go into the blackjack table and having like 4 4s and I don't even know, I'm getting a 5.
Yeah.
That's one of those where, hey, we've had a bunch of those too. Where you're going, hey, did we lose this game? I mean, we had one against Indianapolis 2 years ago. It was like, and Chris Jones got a kind of a bogus roughing the passer call, but we lost to a 3-14 Colt team. Going, how did we? You're on the plane going, did we lose?
Yeah.
How did that work out? But that's what this league is, man. It's crazy.
Unfortunately, Mitch, that is the majority of the New Orleans Saints experience for the bulk of their history, except for this beautiful era that was Peyton and Breeze, and they're trying to recapture that. But Chiefs are the standard bearer, and we'll see if the Saints can get one in Arrowhead on Monday. Mitch, we appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for a couple of minutes.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks so much for watching the video. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, hit the bell so you're notified when we post a new video, and remember to support BetUS, where right now you can get a 150% bonus on your first deposit and a 125% bonus on your next 2 deposits up to $2,000. Be sure to use that promo code YouTube150.